This TSB television broadcast is supported by Banneker Realty, making dreams happen, and by Empower Her. It's about progress, not perfection. Are you game for a rematch? Holy Angels and DeLaSalle are about to answer that question in our latest edition of high school girls basketball. First place in the Tri-Metro Conference is on the line between two perennial contenders in Class 3A, and it wouldn't be surprising if this is the second of three meetings these two teams have this season. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Peden, joined by LaToya Turk. LaToya, I'm glad you could be with us for the second meeting, because if the first meeting between these two is any indication, this will be another photo finish.
We know it's going to be a photo finish. These are two both great teams. No one's just going to lay down here, and there's a lot on the line for this game.
Absolutely. Holy Angels, they've been getting it done with a consistent performance out of Frankie Vascellaro. 7 double-doubles this season. But as you know, she's not alone, and that depth for Holy Angels, they have a good front five, and Grace Massaquoi off the bench. That depth, a big asset in Class 3A.
Right, Holy Angels has heat on the floor and coming off the bench, like you said, with Rachel and Kassie. They're a pretty hard team to stop.
That's Rachel Kowicki and Kassie Caron, for those of you wondering about those names. DeLaSalle, plenty of depth. As you know, Noah Francois not playing this year, but if you looked at their performances this season, you never know it, and that's because folks like NJ Weems and Runsewe have stepped up.
Yeah, no shortage of talent there, and they also picked up Kennedy Click over the summer. So, and she's starting right now as a freshman, and she comes off the, she's on the floor with a big presence. So there's no shortage, even with missing those two players who are out right now for DeLaSalle.
What are you most excited about in this matchup? What do you think it's going to come down to?
There's a lot of factors. One, Holy Angels needs to be able to control the ball in the backcourt against that DeLaSalle press, and DeLaSalle needs to be able to take care of the ball underneath the basket and keep NJ out of foul trouble and on the floor, and also Lockett stay under control at the point guard position.
In the first meeting this season, Holy Angels built a 10-point lead in the first half. DeLaSalle came back, won by 4. We'll see what happens in round 2. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes, from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James, toss shot, it goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Mike Peden and LaToya Turk back here at the Big D on the island of Nicollet, a place synonymous with basketball history. The girls have won 4 state tournament titles in the last decade. We'll see what 2020 brings them. I'm sure they'd love to repeat. And Holy Angels, ever since they won a state title in 2016, they've reached a state tournament and have found a way to do it no matter what their lineup looks like.
Yeah, on the island there's a lot of rich history here for basketball, so there's a expectation when you come on the island for the level of play that you're going to give and receive.
Absolutely. A lot of notable names are in attendance for this one. The Becker coaches are here. As you know, Becker, one of the top teams in Class 3A, so they're doing a little scouting. Bob Beckers is here. Hopkins is off. I joked that everybody saw my tweet, so I was here and said, let's all stalk Mike.
Let's join Mike tonight.
That's probably what happened, yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to see that in a lot of the gyms right now as we come up on the second part of the conference play and getting ready for sections. It's just smart when you have a night off to go scout the team that you might meet up in sections against.
No changes to the starting 5 for both sides, so just like last time, for Holy Angels, it will be Frankie Vascellaro, number 1. The Henry twins, Emma, number 10, and Isabel, number 31. Rachel Kowicki, number 34, and Kassie Caron, number 42. DeLaSalle will start Savannah White, number 2. Kennedy Click, number 3. Kiani Lockett, number 11. Sydney Runsewe, number 15. And NJ Weems, number 22. NJ picked up her 1,000th point on Tuesday in DeLaSalle's runaway win over Visitation.
Oh, congratulations, NJ. That's a loaded roster on both sides there.
Why do you think so many big names are here?
Well.
And then you've got me.
You fit right in.
Maybe not. Well, maybe off the bench. Compared to the Beckers and all the other folks around here, I'd like to think I'm second string.
Yeah.
First off the bench.
Well, there's a rich history. I mean, when you talk about the Islanders, Kennedy Click, she has family that went here. Runsewe has family that went here. Savannah has family that went here. So, a lot of tradition out on the floor. And you can see right away NJ's trying to seal Rachel in the paint. And they're at Holy Angels in its zones. We're going to switch it up a little bit.
Last time they met, DeLaSalle won 83-79. NJ Weems can't get the bounce.
And she rarely misses that. It's almost impossible to stop her one-on-one.
Frankie's father noted that DeLaSalle's press got to them in the last game. Over 20 points off turnovers in the first meeting.
And I think it's very smart to put Savannah on her right away. Savannah's one of the better defenders.
Kennedy Click, the southpaw, can't knock down the 3. Offensive rebound, Kiani Lockett. Shovel pass to Weems, she'll shoot 2.
Kiani Lockett is one of the better distributors at the point guard position of that ball. If her players are open, she's going to find them. She does a great job of pushing the offense and sucking in the defense.
NJ Weems, 22 points and 11 rebounds in the first meeting with DeLaSalle. She and Sydney Runsewe provided that inside-outside presence that helped DeLaSalle weather a 10-point deficit early and eventually get the win.
Yeah, and even with her being the leading scorer, we saw Holy Angels at the beginning of the game try to double her, and then Rachel got in a little bit of foul trouble, and they had to go to single coverage, so it opened her up a little bit.
Weems splits at the line. She will be taking her ACT in a couple of weeks, and then hopefully a college will follow. Mercer and Presbyterian are a couple of schools taking a look at NJ.
NJ, I know a school that needs you. Give me a call.
Which one are you thinking of?
We'll talk about it off camera.
No, Minnesota's got an opening with Destiny Pitts no longer there.
Yeah.
Weems hit with her first personal foul. Kassie Caron at the line. Kassie in the first meeting hit 17 points, got 7 rebounds, had a career-high 36 in the win over Fridley, 17 of 26 from the floor.
She's played great this year. She's a new addition to the starting lineup, and she's a little younger. She shoots a 3. She's tall. She moves well. I enjoy watching her play. And here we go. NJ had Rachel deep in the paint.
They kick out to Lockett, 3 ball, and it does everything but go in.
DeLaSalle's doing a great job on the boards here. They've gotten offensive rebounds almost every time.
And that 3 a little bit short.
I don't know if that was a lob pass. I think that's what she's telling her, like that was for you next time.
And speaking of notable names, I see Paul, the patriarch of the Hill clan, Tanisha's father, and, had a few kids of his own.
Yeah.
That have done pretty well.
AAU season, both these teams have some young players on the roster. Maybe you can pick up a few players for the season, but, we've just seen DeLaSalle force a turnover here with that full court press that they execute so well. So, nice reverse layup.
Not quite, but she'll shoot 2. NJ, to get her mind focused in games, at least before this one, Tanisha likes calm, tranquility. So before the game, NJ, it's not uncommon for her to play Block Stars on her tablet, which her mother said she's real intense about. And I can relate.
Yeah.
Because when I have downtime, what do? I play Wheel of Fortune or Word Skates or Plants vs. Zombies.
I don't have downtime.
I get about 5 minutes. Maybe 10 when it's in the off season.
She makes good on both of those free throws.
3-2, DeLaSalle over Holy Angels.
Holy Angels has got to know they can't dribble out of that press. You can hear their coach saying middle, middle, middle. Frankie was wide open in the middle, and that's key. That's fundamental on breaking a press. Get the ball to the middle. We'll see if they can make that adjustment.
We mentioned first place in the Tri-Metro is at stake. Why is that important? As NJ Weems can't hit the turnaround. Frankie fouled on the rebound. Why is the conference title important? Of course, as you know, with Minnesota postseason play, it doesn't get you an automatic berth, but what it does do gives you leverage when it comes time to seed in sections or state.
Right.
So if you go in there as a conference champion, you'll get a little more bargaining power than you would if you didn't. But these are two top 5 teams. They were 1 and 2 in the 3A rankings in the first meeting. Holy Angels at number 5, DeLaSalle still number 1.
And there she has it sealed again. 3 seconds. She had her pin for too long. But, you know, Rachel's going to have to come around her. She can't sit behind her. She's going to get pinned every single time. NJ's excellent at sitting down on a defender.
Frankie, the bounce pass. Isabel Henry. Sydney Runsewe got in her way, and Isabel had to do a redirect. Click to Weems, you bet. DeLaSalle's offense and defense is clicking, and I'll show myself out.
There they go. There they go.
It was Weems who got the swat. Savannah White draws the foul. Like I said, you wouldn't know that Nora Francois isn't playing as much as they'd love to have her out there. She was one of the best players on this roster last year, but DeLaSalle and Tanisha Scott have spent the last few years building up this program.
And they're deep. I mean, you can look down their bench, and they're deep. We see Grace coming in off the bench, super athletic. She usually comes right in and scores some quick buckets right away.
I was telling Dan Woods beforehand, he and I have a lot of conversations, that Grace is maybe the player I'm most excited to watch. Of course, everyone I'm excited to see, but Grace, how she came in virtually out of nowhere.
Yeah, she's so new.
And a consistent force off the bench. She's got 3 double-doubles to her credit.
Yeah, very athletic. I talked to her after the Maranatha game, and see what he's going to call here. Jump ball. I talked to her after the Maranatha game because I said, "Kid, where'd you come from?" You know, she didn't even play last year.
Where did she come from?
I want to say she came from Minnetonka.
And that's what Dan told me. Kid who had never played, and she comes in and looks like a natural. Frankie Vascellaro, speaking of natural.
Yeah, Frankie has the ability to elevate over other players. You know, she has a pretty high vertical, so that's an advantage for her. And there we go again. She had Rachel pinned again.
I've got a feeling after the first game they figured NJ, or at least Tanisha saw NJ had a lot of success down low, keep feeding her the ball.
Yeah.
But if Frankie Vascellaro is hitting her shot like she has the last couple possessions.
Holy Angels has an answer.
Right.
Name is Frankie. And there's another offensive rebound by DeLaSalle.
Weems, nothing doing. Frankie fouled again. You see how DeLaSalle collapses quickly on the rebounds. A couple of times, though, it's gotten them burned for fouls.
Yeah, it's that reach in. And they have some bigger guards that can rebound. You know, that's the advantage of having Savannah in your backcourt. I mean, she's long arms, she has height, she's quick, she can jump.
What's the saying? You reach, I teach?
Yeah.
Well, all of us could learn something from these two teams. Isabel Henry, baseline J, a little long. Sydney Runsewe with the rebound. We're going to get a couple DeLaSalle subs in a minute. And I see some alumni, including Asia Wilson and Cameron Speece, who play at Augsburg.
Some of our best games against Como are against those two young ladies. I think they're finishing up at Augsburg this year.
NJ Weems scoring layups and taking names.
They're going to have a conversation about that. But, you know, the score is only 9-6, even with her putting up points.
All 9 points.
Yeah.
Weems has scored every point for DeLaSalle. DeLaSalle has not found a way to contain her. Now Kawicki tries to get Weems.
Yeah, she'll get it. They got to just stay in there. And Grace has got to take advantage of having Lockett, the smaller player, on her.
And NJ Weems, she's just going to keep taking shots down low as long as she's got a look. Here's Kassie Caron.
And look at Kennedy playing defense on Frankie. You know, I watched the film from the last game, and Kennedy did an excellent job of frustrating Frankie. And she's all over her right now. Yeah, you call a double foul, he's going to clean it up. What a big heart, you know. That's great. I like it.
So a double foul on Frankie Vascellaro and Kennedy Click. They offset, much like the NFL with offsetting penalties, so it will still be Holy Angels ball.
It just sends a message to both of them.
Right. And these two, they know each other. There's no intimidation.
Yeah. And now we see Salam coming in off the bench, and she's a little firecracker. I think she dominates in track as well, but she's like instant defense as well. So you swap out Kennedy Click for Salam, and it's going to be just as intense.
Maya Williams out there missed the first meeting because of a concussion.
It's nice to see her on the floor.
Kawicki looking to feed Vascellaro inside. Savannah White with the deflection. You mentioned the Como DeLaSalle series, and I'm bummed those two haven't met in the regular season since the time I was here.
Same. Those games are awesome.
Tanisha still remembers that fondly, or vividly, as do I.
And there's Grace creating some offense for Holy Angels right away.
And the reason all of us remember that so vividly, I've never had a game with as many technical fouls as that last meeting.
And it looks like Holy Angels are a little confused on defense right there.
And Maya Williams will take advantage of the situation.
And if they get
Frankie, contact by Williams, that's a foul.
If DeLaSalle keeps Maya Williams healthy, with Maya Williams and NJ Weems in the paint, it's going to be hard for anybody to stop them. Even though Maya's not, 6'2", 6'3", 6 feet, she's a strong body in there. And she looks like she's a little more focused this time around.
DeLaSalle may not be the tallest, but their defense, so stingy, often chokes other teams.
What team does that remind you of?
Hopkins, maybe?
Como Park as well?
Como Park. Well, we saw that last week.
Yeah.
Kassie Caron, she might want that shot back. I think it went behind the backboard.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's happened to the best of us.
Right.
Kobe Bryant, if you recall, his first NBA season had 4 air balls when the Lakers were eliminated by the Utah Jazz in '97.
Oh.
Frank, that's going to be a walk, and that's a tough one.
She made eye contact with her. I think as soon as she's make that eye contact and you see she's got her, you got to give it up then. You can't wait. But that's one thing that they do very well. Holy Angels will run the floor very well. Against a lot of teams, they don't even have to set up their offense.
And that was a dynamic they got back after Destiny Oberg and Kaylee Vanderwerf transferred a couple years ago. DeLaSalle doing what they want down low.
Oh my goodness.
If it's not
they
NJ, it's Maya
tonight.
Williams.
Yeah.
DeLaSalle ball, they're forcing turnovers.
But one thing we know about Rachel, she's mentally strong, and hopefully we'll see her shake that off here pretty soon. I know she's worried about foul trouble, but there's 11 minutes left in this first half, and she doesn't have any fouls. She's got to be a little more aggressive.
Rachel, she's got 2 fouls.
Oh, she has 2. Wow, okay. I understand.
Massaquoi to Caron. Holy Angels scores on the fast break.
I stand corrected.
Well, that's probably why, you said, worried about foul trouble. You've already got 2 quick ones. And Dan Woods trying to keep her in there.
Took a chance there.
And that was close.
Yeah, took a chance.
That was close. Jump ball. Rachel Kawicki let out a celebratory clap.
Maybe that'll be enough to get her going.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
Dan Woods told me they're trying to get her not to dive on the floor as much as she does. She is the workhorse, the gritty player.
Yeah,
Frankie's
always has
father,
been.
Frank, told me that's what she does. That's her role. She's not afraid to get a few scuffs, if you will. And if she didn't do that, she wouldn't have given me or us the best assist I've seen all season. Remember the Cretan-Durham Hall game where she did the somersault to Frankie. Islanders on the run.
Somebody's got to give Lockett some options here.
Well, Kennedy Click will shoot 2.
And that's one thing that you'll see with Kennedy. She'll run the floor. When she was at Maranatha and watching her over the summer, she runs at sideline very well. She knows when to flare out. She knows when to come in. So I look to see lots of assists from Lockett to her.
Right, started at Maranatha last year, moved over to DeLaSalle, and has fit in quite nicely. As you said, a lot of family connections with this school.
Yeah, she's a work girl, but you'll see some development, and you might even see her get a little taller over the summer. You know, she's still young. She's only a freshman.
Her mother was talking about that, how Kennedy, her oldest daughter, I believe, has eclipsed her in height.
Yeah.
Like, my not-so-little baby anymore.
Right. And I think Kennedy's been playing for a while, so she has a pretty high basketball IQ. She'll make some noise on the island.
Well, Mia Curtis is graduating next year. We need another lefty to look forward to.
DeLaSalle's feeling very confident in their offense right now. Nice snatch, Maya. Oh.
That was Becky Little with the block. Massaquoi needs help. Little to Vascellaro. Frankie will shoot two.
That backdoor cut is a treat.
Here's a fun fact I bet you didn't know.
Try me. Let's see.
Frankie's father was a one-time one-day champion on Sale of the Century.
I did not know that.
1988.
I didn't know
Reruns
that.
of that masterful appearance have appeared on Buzzer, and of course folks pinged him and said, hey, you look familiar. And if you have not seen Holy Angels before in our coverage, Frankie likes to play guitar and piano, and I say that because one of her favorite musicians, Billie Eilish, cleaned up at the Grammy Awards.
Nice.
She also likes to play Eagles and Lords, so she's got a mix of old school and modern music.
And it looks like she likes to play basketball too, and if DeLaSalle wants to win this game,
idea?
they're going to need to keep the ball out of her hands.
What gives you that idea?
And a three on the way from Lockett. And there's a little scrappy Salam there with the dish off to Maya.
Second chance opportunities in favor of the Islanders. Frankie picked from behind. DeLaSalle fans wanted a foul, but we play on.
Very resilient.
You've got to be mindful with DeLaSalle's defense. Kennedy Click, three no good.
And little Salam's right in there getting her hands on all those rebounds.
Frankie didn't take in that pass cleanly, and that cost her. And that's not a foul you want.
And even though that was a foul in the backcourt there, you could already see Kennedy leaking out on that transition on that left side wing there.
That's going to be the second foul on Kassie Caron. Both teams out of fouls to give, and we still have 9:43 to go in the first half.
We've been here before. Yeah.
Kassie still getting after it. So 2 fouls isn't going to phase her one bit.
No, not at all.
Timeout, DeLaSalle. Tanisha Scott not pleased with Kennedy's play.
Right, and is Kassie a freshman?
Cassie's a sophomore.
A sophomore, okay.
But her second year on varsity, a lot of veterans with these two teams, even though DeLaSalle has one senior who plays on the primary rotation.
That's the beauty of our basketball right now in the state of Minnesota. We have a lot of young ladies leading the pack on their team, on several teams across the state, and it's just really awesome to see.
Now, we've had a few days to process this, but I wanted to get your take on this. A lot of folks around the state, around the country, coming to terms with Kobe Bryant's death. Tanisha Scott, Kobe Bryant was one of her idols.
Yeah.
And when she heard about the news, it reminded her of her daughter.
Yeah.
K-Town is what she goes by. Kendall and Kobe's daughter Gianna are the same age.
Yeah.
And I know you can speak to this. One reason why Kobe's death was so significant was the amount of time and energy he invested in men's and women's basketball.
Absolutely. And and like you said, that resonates with a lot of us. We do this for our children. I mean, a lot of us, you see us as a coach, and then you see our children with us all the time. And we're in the gym, and we put a lot of time in. And so it does. It pulls on your heartstrings. And then Kobe's like family to us. We know all about him. And in this era with the internet and social media, we know just about everything about him. It's like we're right there.
We grew up with them before the internet took off in the mid-'90s, but afterward.
And once again, she has her seal.
Foul. No, 3-second call. And just to finish up on our discussion, after he retired, his second act as an ambassador, that's something that can't be replaced. And,
right.
Well, he gave Rachel Banham a shout-out, if you recall, when she dropped 60 in her senior year at Minnesota.
He was such a great supporter of women athletics.
Right.
You know? It's just amazing to see that.
Sabrina
such
Ionescu.
a model. Yeah, such a model.
Was a big fan of her game.
And they're calling for 5.
They don't call it. Kassie able to evade defense. Frankie with the turnaround and 1.
One of her skill sets, being able to shoot over a player, and she realized that Salam, a smaller guard, was on her back and did what she does.
And she's done that to just about everybody. That turnaround jumper.
Yeah.
You've seen it in person with the Holy Angels Maranatha series. That turnaround so tough to stop.
We can make a highlight film. Just don't include that one from Maranatha, please.
I'm sure Minnehaha and DeLaSalle and all the other teams that she's torched.
There's plenty of other footage of it. so girls,
well, that's okay. I think Frankie and Demaya get along real well.
Oh, yeah.
And now that they both know of their MCU connection,
yeah.
I'm sure when those two met, they were talking all about superheroes and
Spider-Man.
they
played over the summer together,
that's
too,
right.
So it's all good. But, you know, ladies, don't feel bad if you get put on Frankie's spin cycle.
Hey, Paige Beckers, she's done that to how many players? It comes.
Oh, was that an offensive foul?
It is.
Questionable. No.
It goes on Isabella Thomas. No free throws because it's a team control. LaToya, owing to your last point, I bet there are several players who felt the same way when you posted them up.
Oh, yeah. I had an up and under. And any of the post players I train, they have it too.
But it is an extended family. As you said, Frankie and Demaya played alongside with UVA Athletics.
Right.
And both being Spider-Man fans, you know, it's their opponents on the floor, but that's the only time they're against each other.
And these girls, a lot of these girls are in the gym a lot together.
16-15 our score.
They got
but DeLaSalle's defense continues to attack. That will be the second foul on Frankie Vascellaro. NJ Weems will shoot free throws.
Holy Angels, they had a couple times offensively down there to put that shot up, and they were within shooting range. They got to put the shot up.
NJ Weems with 5 20-point games. She had 25 against Visitation, 22 in the first meeting. And maybe the biggest game of the season, 24 against St. Michael Albertville.
Yeah, she's a dynamic player, very, very pivotal piece of this puzzle here at DeLaSalle.
And that St. Michael Albertville win, as you know, came off the heels of a tumultuous start to the season.
Yeah.
So to see NJ come up with a big performance against a 4A school, I wouldn't be surprised if DeLaSalle wins the title if that game is seen as the turning point.
Yeah, you know, without a doubt, we all knew she was going to bounce back. You know, not worried about her at all.
I asked her if she saved any points for this matchup after passing 1,000 on Tuesday. She said, I'll be ready.
I think she stays ready. Look at her running the floor. Sealing her right away, going right to work.
Pass deflected, intercepted by Cherish Henderson. Cherish actually had a word with your daughter before the game.
Yeah.
Those two know each other.
Yeah, they played together AAU when they were a little younger.
And Cherish, another player that Dan Woods feels is on the right path as far as becoming a consistent presence in this lineup. Really loves the evolution of Grace Massaquoi.
Another offensive rebound.
Kiani Lockett banks it.
Yeah.
Kiani Lockett started her varsity career at Minneapolis South.
Another dynamic player. And, you know, even though you look at her, she's little in stature. She's not afraid to defend on a big – she's not afraid to go into the paint.
Kawicki, mid-range J, swish.
And Holy Angels is still in this game, even though it looks like DeLaSalle's controlling the tempo.
Only a 2-point game. Foul on Grace Massaquoi. That will be her first, and free throws coming for
That was
Isabella
great
Thomas.
defense. That was great defense by her, preventing that pass to get in there to NJ. We're in the bonus now.
Isabella Thomas averaging 4.3 points per game. Knocks down both. You were discussing Kiani's small stature. She's 5'6", 5'7" now. I remember a time when she was even smaller. At South, she was 5'3", hadn't hit her growth spurt yet, but she looked 10 years old. She had those goggles, which her father, Nate Lockett, told me she proclaimed would never wear again.
I've gotten used to her without them. I love those goggles, but I've gotten used to her without them now, so I won't request that they make a comeback.
Frankie Vascellaro, step back, no good. Massaquoi, offensive rebound, can't get the butt back to drop. Lockett with the rebound.
And there's Kennedy running that wing again.
And she'll shoot two, the foul on Cherish Henderson. Kennedy Click, averaging 7.1 per game, season high 14.
And you know, young ladies, if you are watching and you have a good point guard that's going to push the ball, run the sideline for her. She'll get it to you.
Kennedy Click split her first time at the line. And Kennedy's got a couple of younger siblings, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But it'll be about 10 years.
Yeah.
I might have a few more gray hairs by
Yeah.
then. You'll probably stay the same. You're ageless.
Thank you. I'll take that. I'll take it.
Click makes both free throws. We'd like to let you know that this TSB television broadcast is supported by Empower Her. It's about progress, not perfection.
Thank you, Coach Hubbard.
I had to stop myself and call her Hubbard beforehand.
Yeah.
Frankie, a little hesitation.
There we go, Frankie. So if you're looking for some training by dynamic trainer and coach, check out Empower Her website.
And if you want a lesson on how to knock down step backs, turnarounds, and hesitation jumpers, Frankie Vascellaro. That tape.
Oh, yeah.
She's adding to her highlight reel. Let's not forget about Frankie. Frankie crossed 1,000 points earlier this season when Holy Angels demolished Minnehaha. Sydney Runsewe
a little
missed
short
the three.
there. Yeah, just a little short there. And I'd love to be able to see Maya and NJ get that high-low going. It looks like they were attempting it a little, but earlier in the game I talked to Frankie and she said they had a new defense that they were going to put in play for this game that they had been working on, and a little bit of a different offense. It doesn't look like it's made a big difference in the scoring.
Frank was telling me the same thing. That's a push foul on Lockett. Tanisha Scott not happy about it.
Yeah, those are hard. You know, I talked to Demaya about that, knowing when to give. Like, at some point, it looks like almost like you're bailing her out, you know. Yeah, I know when to give at that point, just to get the rest of your team to lock up on defense and get a 5-second call.
Isabel Henry. If you followed our Holy Angels coverage before, a big fan of sweets, even though she says it's probably not healthy for her. 1-on-1 situation. Also involved in track and field, National Honor Society, campus ministry, and STEM programming.
Beautiful.
She does it all. And so does her twin sister, Emma.
They've been a staple on this Holy Angels team as well.
Isabel, of course, had that heroic moment last year when Holy Angels and Como Park played, got the steal and run out in overtime to win it for the Stars.
You know, this kid is extremely athletic. Savannah White. And I almost feel like she can turn it on and turn it off when she wants to. Time it just looks like, you know, she's just chilling out there. And
it runs in her family.
Yeah.
Her big brother.
We can see her grandfather, Frank White, here. It's big in baseball over in St. Paul.
He is, and her big brother, he was at the first meeting. Frankie Vascellaro, a contested jumper, no good. There's White with the rebound.
She's
big
super
brother Royce,
athletic, yeah.
2009 Mr. Basketball Minnesota.
And she's wide open here on this three-point line.
Doesn't shoot a lot from out there, but DeLaSalle won't get that chance. And there's Savannah White with the steal. 25-21. NJ one-on-one with Kawicki. Kawicki got a piece of it. Can't control it. It will stay with the Islanders. Rachel a little flabbergasted.
Yeah.
She must have thought she was fouled.
Yeah, and I think she did take a little bit of contact, and she worked hard. She got a clean block there. And
I see the Van Nets have arrived.
Yeah. We all love good basketball.
That's what brought Bob Beckers out here.
Yeah.
Hopkins is off, and he doesn't live too far from here, and said, I want to watch a good game.
Yeah. And, I'm looking forward to seeing Shania play.
Another 3-second call. Yeah. That's the third time.
The game plan for DeLaSalle is to get them pinned in the paint, and they're doing it, especially with Rachel being in foul trouble. They're doing an excellent job of it. But you got to get in and out. You can't camp out in there. So
it's really unusual, though, to see that many 3-second calls in a high school game.
Well, they're watching it. They're watching it, so it's there.
Oh, I know they're watching it, but I maybe see one or two, but 3-second calls.
Strange things happen on the island. Remember the game with all the technicals?
My most watched game.
Yeah.
People are still watching it. 550,000.
And now we're out on the break again. Running the wing, doing what she does.
IT. Another 3-second call.
They're going to force her to come out of that lane. If Rachel can't get her out of the lane, the refs are going to get her out of the lane. I'm sure she'll make the adjustment.
Well, I might have another entry for strange things that happen on the island, as you alluded to. The game with 4 technicals as Caron fires a 3 and hits.
Yeah. And that's one thing we know about Kassie. You can't leave her open because she can't hit that 3.
Doesn't shoot all that well from 3-point range. That's just her 4th triple all season.
Yeah.
But working on that, as you know, the game getting longer. The range, I should say, getting longer. And NJ's going to shoot foul.
Another offensive rebound. And now we had NJ at the line again. I see NJ Weems at the line. Shania Vanette. Is that her name?
Shania Nichols, Vanette.
Yeah,
same difference.
Yeah. I'm excited to see her come back. Hopefully she'll be back for the AAU season.
NJ Weems wants to get into a YouTube channel of sorts. I talked to her at the first meeting, and she said, well, one of the topics she would like to discuss on her channel is hair topics, which I would know nothing about.
Oh, she could do a special on me. Maybe she should buy an ad.
I was going to say, you would be a perfect subject. Me, I would be hilariously bad. Caron.
Kassie held her own on that one, and Lockett was playing some tough defense there. They're right in a 5-second call.
Kawicki up on Weems. NJ making it really difficult to go up, and there she is with the block.
Grace had great position on there, getting that rebound. It's 2 offensive rebounds in a row there for Holy Angels. You got to be able to connect on some of those when they get those opportunities. DeLaSalle doesn't let you rebound that often.
Massaquoi out of control. Rachel Kawicki blocked by NJ Weems again. Lockett needs an outlet.
Sometimes she has that little hesitation move that she does.
And Isabel Henry hit with a foul.
Yeah. And that's what Tanisha's telling her. She's like, blow past her. Yeah, she has a great hesitation move, and she'll freeze a defender.
Savannah White, a volleyball and basketball crossover at DeLaSalle. DeLaSalle, most of their history is tied with basketball, but there are a few multi-sport athletes. A lot of the players here take part in volleyball.
And when you have a smaller school population, a lot of times you will see the girls play multiple sports, and the coaches coach multiple sports.
Dan Woods is one of them.
Yeah.
Part of the football coaching staff at Holy Angels that have won a lot of state tournament titles and has been a long-time head coach for girls basketball, going all the way back to the days when Holy Angels was in the Minnesota Conference, and one of their rivals was Hutchinson. And I bring that up because Dan Woods coached against Lindsay Whalen in high school.
Yeah, nice. Got to take care of the ball.
27-24.
That trap
Lockett pulls up for three, no good.
trap defense, get them every time.
Weems.
Just takes her time down there.
Kawicki got to be careful.
I know you don't want to pick up a foul with 2 minutes left.
Kassie, Caron checking in on Frankie. Vascellaro taking exception to that push from Weems.
And I mean, they're just they're very athletic. Everyone's going after the ball. It's a little aggressive,
And a lot of history. These two know each other, and there's a little extra incentive with the history. Not just because they're conference rivals.
Yeah.
They met in state last year. A wire-to-wire photo finish won by DeLaSalle in the closing seconds. It was NJ Weems who got the go-ahead bucket with 8 seconds to go in the semifinal.
Love it, Lockett. Take control of the team. Let them know what we're doing. Get in your set. True point guard there.
1:28 left in the first half. 27-24 the score. Double dribble.
I missed that one.
I missed it too, but even though DeLaSalle's trap defense has resulted in a lot of turnovers, the Islanders, I feel, are committing more unforced errors. 4 3-second calls, now the double dribble, and that is helping Holy Angels hang around.
Stay in the game. Yep. Absolutely.
Another difference, three-point shooting, virtually non-existent. Sydney Runsewe had a huge game from the three-point line in the first meeting. I think she had her season high, 26 in that one.
Yeah, and one thing we know, shooters are going to shoot. So when she gets back in, that's what she'll do. She'll continue to shoot the ball.
Frankie,
just
switch.
like Frankie. And it just takes a little to get Frankie going. You know, you bump her a little bit, push her out of bounds. She'll come and score 10 points on you.
And sometimes it doesn't even take a push to get her going.
Yeah.
Salam for three. No good. Last touch by Lockett. Kiani expressing her displeasure.
So 55 seconds left. We'll see if DeLaSalle can prevent a shot and not pick up a foul.
Both teams in the double bonus for what it's worth. Whoa!
And I think that was just out of frustration. It's out of frustration. And that's one thing that those pesky Minnesota Mosquitoes will do to you, get you frustrated and get you to come out of character. And 42 seconds left, she picked up a third foul,
The foul came in late, but it looked like a foul from here, so I'm glad one of the officials caught it. Otherwise, things could have gotten a little chippy. Entry pass, not clean. And NJ able to get the timeout call, so DeLaSalle will have 3 remaining.
It's like she rolled right over and looked at the ref.
32.2.
Yeah, and that's another, 26, 27, 32 seconds left on the clock.
I'm not sure if I'm going to have anything in the tank. I've got 3 games tomorrow. This first half is wearing me out.
I knew this is going to be a great game.
Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, the games I'm covering tomorrow include the Maranatha Minneapolis North doubleheader. Your daughter in particular, real happy that I'm able to cover it.
Yeah.
And then I'm back here at the Island for a big boys matchup. Eden Prairie, the #1 team in Class 4A, and DeLaSalle, the defending 3A champs.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day of basketball for you. I know that Maranatha and North game, Demaya's been looking forward to it, and she's playing really well right now. So
looking forward to it more than you, I understand.
I know.
But that's okay. You're the parent.
Yeah.
You're a little more cautious than.
Yeah.
I'm sure as a player you were like, bring it on. Now as
Right.
a mother, like,
Right.
oh, okay, maybe I just hope my daughter doesn't get bruised.
Right.
Will DeLaSalle hope for the final shot? Let's see. One-point game. Caron on the bench with 3 fouls. She'll have to be mindful of that in the second half. White on the drive.
Oh,
Gets her own miss. 5 seconds.
no foul, ladies. Don't foul.
Jump ball. Holy Angels with the arrow. But I'm not sure they'll have enough time with 1.1.
No, you just don't want to pick up a foul. If I was Frankie, I'd just take off. And she's telling her, she's giving her the signal, just take off.
And we might put some time back on the clock.
So that's exactly what we're going to say. We're going to see the Holy Angels take off, and Grace is just going to send it.
We'll stay at 1.1. A wild first half filled with twists and turns. And we still have 18 more minutes to go.
Yeah.
So that brings us to halftime. 27-26 the score. And I think all of us need an intermission. I know I need to catch my breath. LaToya, DeLaSalle's trap defense, and Holy Angels cashing in on some miscues. Just not backing down. This is a conference rivalry at its finest.
Yeah, and it's still it's a very, very close game. They're playing equal, even with some of the unforced errors on both teams' side. They're getting the ball in the basket, and they're playing hard.
We'll catch our breath and bring you the second 18 minutes when we return. This TSB television broadcast is supported by Banneker Realty, making dreams happen, and by Empower Her. It's about progress, not perfection. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. They put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Second half about to start at the Big D on the island of Nicollet. LaToya Turk will rejoin me in a moment. This is high school girls basketball Tri-Metro Conference. Holy Angels and DeLaSalle. The Islanders with a 27-26 lead over the Stars. NJ Weems leading the Islanders with 12 points. Frankie Vascellaro leading the Stars with 13 points. Kassie Caron with 7, but she's got 3 fouls. Maya Williams has 6 off the bench for the Islanders. But the first half was a battle of DeLaSalle's trap defense and Holy Angels' relentlessness. A few unforced errors, a bunch of 3-second calls among them have allowed Holy Angels to stick around. LaToya, that may have been the most physical 18 minutes I've seen this season.
Yeah.
And I've seen the likes of Stillwater, Hopkins, and Becker. But, you know, this is a rivalry. These two know each other. There's a little something extra, and that all adds up in a matchup like this.
Right away, we're seeing Runsewe come right out. They're running that screen for her to get her shot off. Holy Angels able to read it. And we go to what works.
And in DeLaSalle's case, that's NJ Weems.
Right.
She won't get 2,000 points this season, but I know when she got to 1,000, Tanisha heaped a ton of praise on NJ and how she's been a reliable presence on this team. She got significant minutes as a freshman and hung around and was able to get a state championship last year.
Yeah, she's a hooper.
NJ heard the buzzer but was about to shoot the free throw. The officials were trying to get everyone to stop. There was debris.
Yeah.
And Kiani had to sprint over. That would have been interesting if NJ had that free throw gone in and Kiani is sprinting over to catch whatever was on the floor. Weems, 1 of 2.
And there's Kiani again running that wing, looking for it. She does that so well.
Click it or bucket. Kennedy Click scores, and I'll show myself out. Frankie. Can't get up on Click that time. Tries a pump fake. Hesitation. Frankie attacks and will shoot two. She's got a Kobe Bryant-like presence to her game.
She's gonna excel. She's gonna go 100 every single time. Is that called Mamba mentality?
Right.
But Kennedy played great defense on her, kept her hands up, moved her feet. It's just that once you play defense, you got to realize when she puts a shot up, you got to turn and box her out. And Frankie was able to get 2 offensive rebounds there, and now she's at the line.
Frankie, 80% free throw shooter, averaging 18.4 points and 8.8 rebounds per game. She has led Holy Angels in scoring and rebounding the last 2 seasons.
It's pretty impressive, Frankie.
And if this is your first time seeing Holy Angels, Kiani Lockett drives and scores. To finish up my point, Frankie's family lineage, her father was a 2-time state tournament champion in football at Colorado, and her mother played volleyball, so she's got some genes.
Pretty athletic.
This is Emma Henry, and it looks like Holy Angels, they're going to try attacking more often, going on drives, and so far it's produced a couple of fouls.
Forcing the refs to make those calls with the body.
So Isabel Henry, a fan of sweets. Emma Henry, a fan of anime.
That's big right now.
It's been big for a long time.
Yeah.
And involved in the same programs her sister is. Track and field, National Honor Society, campus ministry, STEM programming.
That makes it easy for the parents to get you to your activities when everyone's involved in the same thing. And we got some new fans that have joined us. I see the girls from Como Parker down there.
I see a couple of the Hill sisters too.
Yeah.
Kiani Lockett for 3. Off the heel, and Frankie Vascellaro with the rebound. Click. Frankie pulls up and scores. That was close. DeLaSalle wanted to travel, and that was very close.
NJ goes right to what she does best. Right to what she does best. Sealed her. We got to watch the film and see how many times she's actually sealed her. I
think NJ would make a good spokeswoman for Flex Seal.
Yeah.
With the way she's been sealing off her assignments down low tonight.
I also think at some point you got to not stand behind her and try to front her. And that trap worked very well. That first.
If you stand behind her,
it's your chopped liver.
Right. She's going to post up on you all day.
Yeah.
And Weems knocking down both free throws. She's up to 15. Massaquoi on the drive.
Yeah, Grace has missed a couple of those little bunnies, which are going to really help them.
Massaquoi is yet to score, and Kassie Caron picks up her 4th foul.
Yeah, and you could see Kennedy with that little head fake Hezo move, which is really nice. It'll be nice to see that develop over the next couple of years.
Kennedy Click will shoot 2 more.
And we struggle with that teaching girls that just when to let up just a little bit, especially when it's early in the second half and you already have 3 fouls and we need you on the floor.
And Kennedy Click, I expect her to have a more prominent role next year.
Absolutely.
Again, only one senior with significant minutes in NJ, but everyone else coming back.
And it looks like they're really trying to develop her into the defensive stop here. She's usually taking her turn and assignment for the toughest offensive player on the opposing team.
Islanders in transition. Sydney Runsewe with the finish. That is Sydney's first field goal.
And it looks like that's going to get those ladies going. Yeah, Kennedy's face guarding Frankie. Kawicki's got to be careful, both of them.
Kawicki lost her balance. Weems and Kawicki aren't afraid to go at each other.
It's tough, but they're going to remember this forever. They're going to remember these. These are going to be conversations they have like what I have with Vanessa right now. Our, Washburn Roosevelt battles.
And they're going at it again. Those two are not afraid of each other.
No. Great competition.
Lockett, step back.
I said she does a great job of freezing her defender.
Kawicki, is she going to take it all the way? Yes!
And
coast to coast.
We've seen her do that several times. Once she gets going, when she's in the game, she's definitely going to be a factor, offensive and defensively. And so she knows what's riding on her back right now.
Kawicki, a multi-sport athlete. There's a lot of basketball and softball. And that makes it a 5-point game.
Stop the ball. And like we said, Holy Angels doesn't that often have to set up their offense.
Savannah White puts back her own miss. That puts her up to 4. And DeLaSalle getting a degree of separation. 39-32. But that could change in a hurry. Long
Frankie
skip.
got open just for a sliver. There we go.
And Emma Henry knocks down her first triple.
And just as I say, Holy Angels doesn't run their offense. They're very patient on that set.
Well, Frankie called for it, but Isabel saw someone else open. Kiani Lockett with the answer. Yes.
And that inside-outside game is going to be very beneficial for them as we go deeper into conference and get ready for sections here. And they have a lot of options for that. With having NJ in the paint, and having Runsewe as a shooter, Click as a shooter, Savannah White as a shooter, Lockett as a shooter, that's going to be very fundamental for them.
DeLaSalle, their section won't be a pushover as originally thought. Matamini having a strong season. Lost a close one to Concordia Academy. And I bring that up because Yvonne Tensaye last night became the all-time leading scorer at Concordia Academy.
Nice.
She dropped 34. Kiani Lockett looking to drop 3 more, can't do so. Tensaye, well, you saw this in the game with Maranassa. She put 40, but she's had a terrific stretch of games.
Oh, yeah. Phenomenal athlete. Phenomenal athlete. Hats off to her. She plays very well, under control, and she's a shooter. I mean, oh, my goodness. Talk about bullseye.
I'll be seeing her on Monday when the Beacons host Mare Lutheran. Mare, a team that knocked off Minnehaha.
Yeah.
One of the top teams in Class A, but...
And over at Concordia Academy, that was when I watched those young ladies play, it was great teamwork. Her teammates cover her. They take care of her. They set good picks for her. They get her open. She might score 2/3 of their points. They're okay with it.
As I was saying, Yvonne Ten... Oh, my goodness!
Nice.
Dan Woods will call a timeout. Tanisha Scott can't believe what she just saw, neither can I.
Hey, reverse layup. That's a staple to have in your back pocket.
I'm used to seeing that out of folks like Liza Carlin. Isabel Henry making lemonade out of lemons.
Every guard should be able to do a reverse layup. That was nice. Got to cut the baseline off.
That is my play of the game right there.
Nice, nice.
With this timeout, we'd like to remind you that this broadcast is supported by Empower Her. It's about progress, not perfection. To finish up on Tensaye, what she has done to put a face on that program.
Right.
I know probably wasn't the best of feelings when she dropped 40 on your Maranatha Mustangs, but hung around, giving them an identity that they may not have had otherwise for girls basketball.
And that entire community supports her. I mean, you come into the gym, the energy's high. They have a great announcer there. Everyone plays their role. The fan section is nice. I mean, it's a nice atmosphere to be in.
I can't wait to see them on Monday.
Yeah.
And they also play Blake later on this season. Blake has that 7th grade wonder in Addison Mack.
Like I said, a lot of young girls out here.
We're seeing a few of them tonight.
Living the ball is life Mamba mentality.
And that's what has amazed me all season, the number of young guns. I know a lot of attention has been focused on Paige Beckers, and understandably so, but a lot of youth doing big things.
You know, they have access to so many resources, the training, the number of gyms that are available, YouTube, that you really can create your own beast now.
Grace Massaquoi will shoot 2. She had 13 points and a season-high 18 rebounds in the win over Fridley. And speaking of youth, that will be one of the centerpieces.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to her after the Maranatha game, and I just told her, kid, you're awesome. Like, you have the athletic ability to go very far in the sports arena. Look forward to seeing her develop.
I'm sure she was pleased to hear that. Split at the line. Both teams shooting fairly well. Holy Angels 8 of 10, DeLaSalle 13 of 18 in a 4-point game.
Gotta give your shooter a better pass than that.
There's Maya Williams. And that's exactly why. Sloppy pass leads to a turnover. Rachel Kowicki. She's not afraid of anybody.
Yeah. If you don't stop her, Kowicki's going to go straight to the basket.
Just about any other coach. I know if I were coaching, I'd probably be going, what are you doing? Driving and taking a contested shot like that, but she's drawing fouls. That's DeLaSalle's last to give.
And she's known to get some and ones for that. You know, she has that mentality, if you don't stop me, I'm going to keep going. And it's not uncommon to have her and Frankie or Grace or Kassie running the fast break.
As everyone would say at Holy Angels, she is the workhorse. The meat and potatoes player.
And she's made great adjustments this season of being able to stay on the floor. You know, she's fouled out a couple of games, but it's been late in the second half, so.
Well, foul trouble,
discipline.
Something both teams will navigate in the final minutes of this one.
Holy Angels is in a zone, and they got to find Sydney. She's open on this corner right here. You got to swing the ball.
I wonder if that's the new defense that Holy Angels is looking to implement, the 3-2.
You just got to get it, swing the ball, and get it to her a little quicker. Otherwise, let's go to what works.
You can run a zone all you want. If NJ Weems has one-on-one coverage down low, good night.
Nice curl there. I thought she was going to go to the basket.
Kickball.
Boy, both these coaches are going to have to coach the entire game.
I think they know with the Holy Angels DeLaSalle game, that's expected.
Yeah.
Against Visitation, Brooklyn Center, different story. Frankie, side fade, swish.
It's our sweet spot there.
Frankie, what a beauty. The big names have been stepping up all night. NJ Weems for DeLaSalle, Frankie Vascellaro for Holy Angels, Kiani Lockett. Bullseye.
That was a pretty deep three there.
I couldn't say it the last time we called the game because I had no voice.
Yeah. And that's going to open it up. You know, with Kiani hitting that three-pointer at the top of that zone right there, that's going to open it up for Runsewe on the baseline. So now that defense is going to have to step out and not sag off over on Sydney. And we'll see how they make that adjustment.
But NJ Weems hit with a foul, and that puts DeLaSalle in the penalty. So Holy Angels with some prime chances here to stay with their longtime conference rival.
Big offensive rebound by Frankie.
And she draws a foul on NJ.
And
I didn't see a lot of contact.
And she loses her shoe.
I didn't see a lot of contact. Frankie lost her shoe. Well, you can't call yourself a basketball player until you lose your shoe once. I'm guessing that happened to you a couple of times?
I'm sure.
We have to watch the tape. You
I
probably
know
aren't conscious about it. Like, wait.
I can remember a time in college when my college coach, Coach Antonio Davis, I think I didn't perform as I should have in a classroom, and he put me on the line. I ran so much that I had to take my shoes off. My feet hurt.
I was going to say, were they on fire?
That was the first and last time I made that mistake.
Well, I don't know if your shoes caught fire in that incident, but Frankie Vascellaro catching fire here. She's up to 20 points.
Nothing that we aren't used to seeing. There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Runsewe, 3-ball quarter
And, you know,
pocket.
Sydney's been working that baseline for the past 2 offensive possessions. They just got to find her.
Kawicki running the floor. And DeLaSalle, I should say Holy Angels, they've got a few floor generals. Kassie Caron on the bench right now, but she is someone who can run the floor. And Frankie Vascellaro,
She'll shoot right over the top of you.
she's channeling her inner Kobe right now. And I don't use that term lightly.
Yeah.
The contested jumpers, and I bring that up because going back to Kobe Bryant's impact, that's what he was known for.
Yep.
He was not afraid, didn't care about shooting percentages, wanted to win the game no matter what. If that meant contested jumpers, he would take it.
Have the ball in her hands. I wonder at what point do we put Savannah on Frankie? You know, Savannah's one of their top defenders. Her arms are long. She can jump. She can get a hand in her face. At what point do we put, because when you have your shooter on their best player who's on the other team, you know, they lose their legs when they go back down on the other end of the court. So it would be nice to see Frankie get some new looks.
Frankie with their 7th 20-point game this season. She has 2 30-point games this year. That came against Bloomington Jefferson and Robbinsdale Cooper. Something to keep an eye on for Holy Angels. In 3 of their 4 losses, Kassie Caron has scored 5 points or less. And if you're wondering if there's some 3-dimensional chess situation, Dan Wood said no. That is one of our factors that influences the outcome of a game.
Yeah.
And that's not to say she's the only one, but he feels Kassie Caron is one of those X factors.
Oh, yeah.
She's on the bench right now with 4 fouls at 7 points. The other loss, where she did get into double figures, came in the first meeting with DeLaSalle. She had 17 points in that one, but something to keep an eye on as the season continues for the Stars.
Yeah.
The growth of Kassie Caron, as much as we talked about Frankie. There's Savannah White on Kawicki.
Pure athleticism. You know, she can go when she wants to. Savannah, we'd like to see you go a little more often.
I'm sure that will come with time. Emma Henry, an off-balance layup, but it goes in, and that's what counts. And these teams are trading style points here. I hope Bob Beckers is getting his money's worth.
Sometimes you can just
And
be
Savannah
too
White.
open. You just be too
You
open.
saw her going into her motion.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I want that one back.
You can be too open.
It happened to Kobe, as
Yeah.
we said before. Everyone has had at least 1 air ball.
And look at the defensive switch there. Savannah's on Frankie now.
Let's see how this matchup turns out.
Yeah.
Kawicki, the entry pass too long.
Lockett's a great facilitator and actress. Love it.
DeLaSalle with a 4-point lead, 8 minutes and 48 seconds left in the second half. Salam for 3. Yes!
Yeah. Salam comes off the bench and plays her role very well, you know. She's a great defender.
Kawicki
Now we
lost
got
her
numbers.
balance. We play on. DeLaSalle with numbers. Runsewe. Weems. Rebound. She'll shoot 2.
Hey, Weems does a great job on that pivot. She'll dance all around you on 1 foot. She does a great job when she catches that ball. She keeps it up high. And it's always nice when you're running and you got the ball and you're on that 3-on-2 or 3-on-1 that you have your other players running with you, because you might miss and then they're there to rebound.
NJ Weems. I know you spoke highly of her last year. Maybe an unheralded gem, if you will, under the radar type of senior. And what you said earlier, bouncing back from mistakes. Word got around about what happened at the Dowling Catholic game, but NJ, she owned up to it, said,
Yeah.
I messed up.
Yeah. And in the basketball community, we know her. She's a great kid. She's a great kid.
Hey, we've all made mistakes.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of stupid things. And I talked to her afterward and just remind her of that. Like, hey, you're not alone.
Right.
But she's responded nicely, and it happens to the best of us. But DeLaSalle, they don't quit easily.
No, they don't.
And even after what happened, that was a very tumultuous situation, as we discussed earlier. Might have unraveled some teams that don't have the camaraderie that DeLaSalle does, but they stuck together.
Definitely, they're definitely a family. On the island, they're a family. And you'll see that when they have these big games, how much black and gold is here, how many of the alumni come back, how many of the alumni send their kids here.
Right. Well, in the rivalry series of Cretin-Durham Hall and Minnehaha, that brings out a lot of the alumni. I hope you can come back for that one, DeLaSalle Minnehaha, because that's a lot of fun coming into season. DeLaSalle looking to make a run. They get another steal and a late foul.
Yeah.
Savannah White will shoot 2. DeLaSalle with a chance to go up big here. The foul, the third on Frankie.
You know, I would encourage young ladies to get their stop and pop game on as you go. You know, you might dominate here in high school, and you guys are all about the same height, but when you go to that next level, we don't have a lot of height, you know, we don't have a lot of Sophie Harts and
Maya Najis.
Yeah. So speaking of Maya Naji, you know, if you're watching this game, Maya, I personally feel you're ready for the league right now. She's one of the best post games that I've seen in a long time.
I said this on Friday when I covered Hopkins in that win over St. Michael Laberville. Frankie Vascellaro will shoot 2. Paige Becker's getting a lot of attention. She just made the cover of Slam Magazine, the first high school female to do so.
Yeah.
But everyone, Dan Woods told me they're going to look a lot different without her. Well, that's obvious to anybody, but when she goes, I have a feeling Maya Naji will be one of those figures who takes over as a leader for the Royals.
And I also really enjoy watching Nunu play over there. When she grows into everything and everything fills out, I mean, like, that kid's going to be a beast, too.
And the woman who just made free throws, she will be a beast next year. Crossed 1,000 earlier this season when Holy Angels beat Minnehaha 97-55. Who knows? Maybe she'll get 2,000.
Like, we're hoping Alexis Pratt hits 2,000 tonight over against Roseville.
I'm sure we'll hear about it. Massaquoi. Dan Woods wanted the foul, and the official concurs.
And it looks like, you know, the Holy Angels, they recognize that they're in the bonus now. They're in a double bonus, and so if they take it to the hole and they get fouled, they're going to get 2 attempts at the basket. And they're only 8 points down. It's an easy way to chip away at this lead.
And they've got some shooters. Grace Massaquoi, 70% free throw shooter. Isabel Henry, 73. Frankie Vascellaro, 80.
And I don't think Tanisha's called any timeouts yet. Sometimes you got to just get your team under control.
Not in this half. Both teams have 3 left.
Yeah.
6:46 and counting. First place in the Tri-Metro, and more importantly, section and potential state tournament seeding on the line. Because these 2 teams are favored in their sections. DeLaSalle in 4, Holy Angels in 6. A DeLaSalle sweep would give them a leg up, so you could pretty much guarantee.
Super athletic.
You can guarantee Savannah White will take it down low.
Yeah.
But a DeLaSalle sweep would guarantee them a seed line over Holy Angels.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see
Frankie.
Yeah, nice.
You can't stop her tonight.
I need to see Savannah just throw her hands up like, what do you do? What do you do?
Good defense, better offense.
Yeah.
Frankie feeling it, though.
Now I wonder if Kiani realizes that she has 4 fouls and she could really just take her to the basket if she wanted to. They could clear out, go ahead and foul her out.
Kassie trying to stay with her. Through some contact.
Yeah. Kiani's playing with her.
Off the screen. Massaquoi did not get back in bounds. And Kiani said something. I'm not a good leap reader, but
Yeah, I think she feels like she was pushed.
I think so. And DeLaSalle will call a timeout. 5:33 to go. Both teams, as we said, favored in their sections. Over in 4, though, Matamidi and Hill Murray, they're here tonight watching this. Couple of teams to keep an eye on. And at Section 6, Richfield, they've struggled against DeLaSalle and the Holy Angels in their first meeting, but it was a team that won 5 games all of last year. They're 15-3. What a turnaround.
Right. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. You never rule a team out. I mean, you got to show up every night to play and be ready because anything can happen.
Looking ahead, DeLaSalle, if they can get past Holy Angels, they'll have a rematch of St. Croix Lutheran. They will be hungry after the Crusaders got a win against them. Tanisha Scott felt DeLaSalle lacked energy, and that was a road win that St. Croix picked up.
Yeah.
So that is a reminder that there are no guarantees, a lot of parity, especially in 3A. And if St. Croix Lutheran can get to state, they've got a good chance. Simley and Como Park will be tough tasks, but
Right.
that is a big win, and that's a
Unforced error.
miscue.
Yeah. Speaking of Como Park, do we know if KK Asbury hit her 1,000 points?
Como played earlier. I have not heard anything yet.
Okay.
So I know a couple of players closing in on milestones.
Yeah. So congratulations to Ronnie Porter. We got to see her the other night hit her
Last
1,000
week.
point.
Yep.
Yeah. As they picked apart Minnehaha Academy, and then I think KK Asbury, if she didn't hit it tonight, it'll be definitely in this conference play this week. So congratulations, KK.
Frankie Vascellaro tagged with her 4th personal foul.
That's tough.
Savannah White will shoot 2 more. She had 13 points in the first meeting, has 9 here.
So we got their trio now with 4 fouls. We got Frankie and
Kassie with 4.
Yep, and I think Rachel has 4, right?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, Rachel's
But
been
more
on the bench
importantly-
for a while.
More importantly, Savannah White missed the front end of a 1-and-1, so an empty possession for the Islanders. Stars are running out of time, though. They've got to find a way to get some points on the board.
And that's one way.
Offensive rebound.
Friendly-
Dead ball rebound, I
Yep.
should say, Holy Angels. I don't know how Tanisha's vocal cords hold up.
I know. Well, that was a quick 5. But the girls got to stay mentally focused and geared in right now. The game's really close. There's 4:41 left. It could be still anybody's game. Everyone's got to stay mentally astute right now.
And I don't say that Tanisha is malicious or
No.
overly aggressive, but much like her predecessor, Faith Johnson-Patterson,
Yeah.
you know what she's thinking or
Yeah.
how she's feeling.
And you know, sometimes it's hard to hear your coach, and so you have to
You gotta use
get
your
it out.
pipes.
Yeah. And she has a young team, so she's constantly talking to him. She's got to talk to him the entire time. And it'll get to a point where they'll be on autopilot.
Savannah White looks like she's on autopilot right now.
Yeah, at will.
And a chance for the Islanders. To
We're in
perhaps Grace Massaquoi, 3-ball
Nice.
corner pocket. I was about to say DeLaSalle in position for the dagger, and Grace Massaquoi drops a big-time bucket.
Yeah, both of our number 2s, Gigi Bryant's number, are putting up numbers tonight.
You may have heard this. Well, you'll hear about that, but Holy Angels on the run. Massaquoi with the kick out. They want the 3. They don't get it. Jump ball. Holy Angels to the arrow. It was announced today in the NBA All-Star game that the 2 teams, Team LeBron and Team Giannis will wear number 2 in honor of Gigi, and LeBron will wear 24.
Oh,
a
that's
lot of
nice.
tributes to Kobe Bryant
Yeah.
in this year's game. And Talia Graham, even though Minnehaha lost to Providence on Tuesday, dedicated her first game since his death to Gigi.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling we may see more players.
Oh, that's a Vanette 3. Okay.
Or a Sarah Scalia 3. But I have a feeling we'll see more players, especially next year, consider wearing 2, 8, or 24.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kassie Caron just picked up her 5th.
So he's going to use this time that you have to get a new player in to just go over some strategy with his kids, which is a smart move. That's a smart coaching move. That's a seasoned coaching move. You have a little bit of time before you have to sub in your next player.
You get 30 seconds, and there might be a little more time. Savannah White getting stretched by Tanisha Scott. I don't know if something...
No timeout needed. That was awesome. That's another seasoned coach's move.
I was wondering if something may have cramped up or locked up, and I'm thinking, we might have an injury timeout, but back to action.
Yeah.
Well, you get 30 seconds. Use every last one of them.
Yeah.
Lockett.
And sometimes those cramps can be from, not taking enough water, maybe having too much sodium during the day, not enough potassium, but eating a banana before your workouts and increasing your water intake on games days will help those muscle cramps.
Lockett had 10 points in the first meeting. She's up to 13 here. And DeLaSalle back up by 8. A conference rivalry with a lot of history. Kawicki back out on the floor. Kawicki has 3 fouls.
It's great defense by DeLaSalle there. They weren't letting her get that offense started.
And against other 3A teams, and even with Eden Prairie and St. Michael Albertville, that defense causes so many fits. And if they hadn't played Hopkins right around the time of the fiasco at the season opener, you might get a different story. Tanisha couldn't coach that game. And so the game itself wasn't at the forefront of everyone's minds, but if you had those two teams meet again, I would think it'd be a much different outcome. I would give the edge to Hopkins, but this DeLaSalle defense, what Tanisha has done to elevate that defense and continue the foundation that Faith Johnson Patterson built. It's great to see, and for Tanisha Scott, an extra bit of satisfaction because she's a graduate of this school.
Oh, yeah.
Foul on Emma Henry. Lockett will shoot 1-1 here. I remember when Tanisha took over, we had a chance to talk about it for a bit, and she has mad props, mad respect for Faith Johnson Patterson. Everyone knows everyone. Not a lot of representation until Faith came in. She was a trailblazer for black female coaches.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But Tanisha was ready for the challenge. She wanted to come home.
There were big shoes to fill there, and she's done a great job. Was Tanisha a guard? I'm assuming she was a guard, shooting guard.
I thought she was a center.
Really?
I teased.
Oh, you're joking.
I know, it's my dry sense of humor.
But as a player, when your coach played the same position that you play, that's always good because you get nice little sweet nuggets of information that they instill in you. And
I think we discussed this.
Yeah, she takes a special interest in Lockett. She's always talking to her and always teaching her.
I think we brought this up the last time we were here at DeLaSalle last year, but you've got on that coaching staff players who represented every position. Because Ashley Ellis-Mylan, she's been with Tanisha Scott for many years, was a post player at Central of Minnesota. Danielle Ellison, another guard. I imagine more of a 2-guard.
Is she going to call a travel?
Yes.
Okay.
And Sadika Jihad had state tournament credentials of her own, winning one at Minneapolis South, where her father coached, Emil Jihad. And the two are still coaching. And
great wealth of basketball knowledge.
That's cool to see that father and daughter both have a state championship as a coach. And Don C.J. Hallman, longtime friend of Tanisha. Head coach at football, hangs around basketball. Told me that of his family, he got married a couple of years ago.
Uh-huh.
He said his wife's side of the family, they're all doctors. They're not into sports like he is. And so I asked him, what were you thinking? And of course, we laughed. No, they
Nothing
get along.
wrong with that.
Hey, that just gives him a few more people to introduce to sports, you see.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, come to a game, and much like me with the Lynx in women's basketball those years ago.
So all you gotta do is just
now
get you in the
CJ
gym.
Hallman has a few more options or a few more contact.
Get you in the gym. If we can just get you in the gym, we'll make a believer out of you.
Kiani Lockett makes the front end. And the back end, she's up to 16. Lockett missed about half of last season recovering from an ACL injury. And since then,
Boy, she's bounced back well.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so DeLaSalle looks like they're going to hang on and get the sweep over their rival, Holy Angels, and extend that win streak.
Yeah, NJ was just a driving factor this game in that middle. She really made it difficult for
especially
Holy
early
Angels.
in the first
yeah.
half. And like you said, the way she seals off her defenders.
And then DeLaSalle, their defense is never ending defensively. Kennedy Click did a great job of getting out on the offensive outlets, getting to the line. Savannah did a great job defending Frankie, and DeLaSalle controlled the boards this game. But, hats off to the trio for Holy Angels for playing with foul trouble for a majority of the game, actually.
And they're not out of this yet. Emma
No.
Henry drains the three. 1 minute to go. And Frankie gets it with her fifth.
And I can see the crowd's excited. I think that's Frankie's fifth foul here.
Everyone except Tanisha. She didn't like how that set was run. She's a coach, all right.
Yeah. And that was one thing we talked about at the beginning of the game with Frankie, too. I said, are we going to stay out of foul trouble? And it looks like we had a little trouble with that this game.
But the way DeLaSalle, again, they're physical. They get at you. They don't back away. They will make you go face-to-face, toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
And it can be tough to keep up with them,
Yeah.
as we've seen. Kiani Lockett, she's drawn a lot of fouls.
Yeah. And, we talk about the girls playing really aggressive with each other, but, you can see on this free throw line, NJ and Rachel having a friendly conversation. So it's just all a game. It's just a basketball game.
Like you said, when those two get into college, become adults, maybe they'll end up coaching offspring of theirs or going to their games. I'm sure they'll be laughing about these stories.
Yeah, one day they're going to be great coaches, great trainers, great mentors of other female athletes.
Or commentators. They might go after my job.
Since she is a YouTuber.
Grace Massaquoi with the layup. And Holy Angels will call a timeout. You might as well. They don't carry over to the next game, 46.6. LaToya, are you going to have enough energy to cheer your daughter on tomorrow?
Always.
I'm trying to convince her to join me in the booth for the boys' game after the girls' game. She's reluctant. Maybe you could convince her.
Well, the thing about it, she knows all the guys on the Maranatha team, so that'll be an easy call for her.
And James, one of our camera ops, and Demaya were picking each other's brains, and James was impressed with their knowledge, and I've been trying to get the world to see it. Maybe you can persuade her.
Well, hopefully they see it this year because she's playing really well right now. So catch some of her film. She's doing her job over there at Maranatha.
46.6, and the big names for DeLaSalle, NJ and Kiani. They stepped up. Kiani in particular was Sydney Runsewe, who had a big performance from the perimeter in the first meeting, but
it looks
not
like
a lot of
Holy
touches
Angels,
tonight.
had an answer for that.
But they have not found an answer for NJ Weems.
Right.
Not many teams do.
Yeah, not many
NJ
teams.
has an older brother playing in college. Again, one of the underrated figures of the senior class. Then again, when you graduate in the same year as Paige Beckers, I think everyone else may seem that way, but the way she steps up against big-time opponents, St. Michael Albertville, both games with Holy Angels, as Kowicki picks up her fourth. That is a defining characteristic. She might have to answer some questions about the season opener, but I hope whoever recruits her sees her upside as well, because she brings a lot of it.
Hey, there are girls all over the state knocking people out every night, so if they don't have to answer any questions, neither should she. It's done and over.
But again, to me, that speaks to her upside and her ability to bounce back.
Yeah, absolutely.
From adversity.
Absolutely.
Much like Paige Beckers for Hopkins. How you perform in clutch games. Paige is one of them. NJ Weems in 3A has done the same thing. And Grace Massaquoi,
just bodied
she's
Kennedy.
got a bright future.
Yeah. You have to get in the weight room.
I can't wait to see her next year.
Yeah.
She's had a good first year. Click fouls out, but
great upsize. Great upsize there.
Great. It may be endless.
Yeah.
Ever since we saw her at the Cretin-Durham Hall game back at St. Thomas, you would never know Grace hadn't played a minute.
Right.
And with a year of experience and understanding the plays, I'm excited to see what she can contribute. And she'll have some opportunity because the Henry twins graduate next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a God-given ability that she's been given. You know, she's an athlete, and I don't think that basketball would be the only sport that she would dominate in.
I would agree with you on that. I don't know if she plays any other sports, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Just a little sidebar. It's so awesome for me to see so many of our young ladies living out their.
DeLaSalle doesn't take a play off.
No, they don't.
Maya Williams scoring on the fast break, and White with the steal.
It's so nice to see a lot of our young ladies playing for Christian schools or acknowledging their faith like Paige does.
Beckers, Andre Adams.
Yeah, when I watched her special from, is it Slam?
Yes.
Yeah, and she talked about her her pregame and postgame routine. That was amazing.
I interviewed her after she had another big game against St. Michael Albertville, asked her about the McDonald's All-American selection, and she said, I owe it all to God.
Yeah.
And I said, I told her, you keep this up, you're going to owe him a thing or two.
Yeah.
Cover a slam, but no, she's just thankful to have this opportunity.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it about herself.
And she's very humble, you know.
Emma Henry with the long range 2 timeout.
They have to.
Kennedy Sanders comes to mind from Chaska. We saw her earlier this month.
Yeah. A little scrapper there.
You're right. Mm-hmm. And NJ Weems and Lockett. This DeLaSalle team, they may be physical, they may be aggressive, but it doesn't bleed over into post-game routines. When I talk to them after the game, Paige Beckers and that Hopkins team, I was in with Frank and Bob Beckers on this, and what impressed Frank and I, Hopkins, and I told Maya Najee this, they have every reason to get caught up on the Hollywood atmosphere.
Yeah.
They've been featured by Slam, as they might have a chance to play in nationals if they go undefeated.
Yeah.
Paige gets on the cover of Slam. Lots of coverage, a lot of accolades.
They're so humble.
You would never know it.
They're so humble.
Doesn't
so
make it
down
about
to earth.
herself.
Yeah.
And none of the Hopkins, and I think that's why Hopkins has been so successful. And same with DeLaSalle. Whether you're looking to extend an undefeated streak, or in the case of DeLaSalle, having to overcome some bumps you weren't anticipating, they find a way to stand together, stick together, and that's why DeLaSalle and Hopkins are in the conversation every year.
Right, and athletics can do that for you. It creates a sisterhood. Team sport.
There's a reason Hopkins and DeLaSalle in 3A and 4A make the state tournament every year and have a chance to win titles. Holy Angels, same thing. The teams that have positive, strong cultures.
Those are all teams that usually pray before their games too.
Success breeds success.
Yeah.
Because they see it, younger kids see it.
Yeah.
And Tanisha's got a daughter who will probably play varsity next year.
Yeah, and then we also look at the across the river at Cretin. They're kind of Crystal's rebuilding over there as well. And I see some young ladies at some of our rec programs are enjoying attending her games, and so I look for her roster to build over these next couple of years. And DeLaSalle's able to pull off this win here tonight.
DeLaSalle got enough separation and held on to it for a 76-65 win. Kiani Lockett, with all those free throws, picks up her third 20-point game this season. NJ with 18. Another fun chapter in this Tri-Metro rivalry.
Absolutely.
So another conference sweep for the Islanders. That will give them a leg up in state tournament seeding, should they make it. And Holy Angels as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see these two again in the state tournament.
Yeah,
perhaps playing each other.
Absolutely. These are two both very strong teams. Like I said, nobody's going to back down. They're going to fight till the end. And DeLaSalle just had a few more things click tonight than Holy Angels.
We'll come back to chat with Lockett and Weems. This is high school girls basketball. The Islanders knock off the Stars. Joining me are NJ Weems and Kiani Lockett. Kiani, you hit a bunch of free throws to seal it for your third 20-point game this season, but it was your defense that kept Holy Angels from making a run. What is it about your defense that is so tough to contain?
I say I just try to force the person to their less dominant hand. So everyone was right-handed, so I try to force them all left, and then once they pick up the ball, I'm right on them. So yeah.
What does it mean to get a sweep in gritty fashion over a conference rival who, much like you, is a state tournament contender every year?
Yeah, it feels really good just to set the tempo in the beginning of the season, especially because they're ranked very high in Class 3A. So once we can get over that hump, it really helps us get momentum for the end of the season.
Well, you're ranked pretty high as well.
Oh, yeah, but it just helps beating someone else that's also ranked high too. It just helps us.
What would you make of this season? Lost your first 3 games, things maybe threatened to unravel, but ever since that St. Michael Albertville game, this DeLaSalle team, they've been on a mission. What would you make of it?
Yeah, I would say just after those 3 losses, we really took it in, and then we just came together as a team and just talked through it, and then once we got that really big win against St. Michael, it was just been up ever since.
NJ, you told me yesterday that you would be ready and have a few points left for Holy Angels after getting 1,000. You did, especially early. LaToya and I noted your ability to seal defenders, get layups. No matter what Holy Angels threw at you, you found a way down low. How do you get open?
Well, my coaches just practice on me getting open fast, doing my work early so I don't have to work when the ball gets to the guard, and then push them under the basket so I can have a better shot and an easy way to the basket.
This game more physical than the first meeting. How do you adapt to that?
Well, I say I just play just as physical, just get in their heads, make them mess up, make them get the turnovers, and then that way we can get our momentum up and get the easy buckets that we need.
Yeah, I saw you had a couple of moments there with Frankie and this rivalry. As you know, a lot of talent, usually close games, and there's a state tournament chapter as well. So to get a conference sweep as a senior over Holy Angels, you might see him a third time, but what does it say about the grit of this DeLaSalle team?
It just says, that we're always working harder. We're always putting the hours inside the gym to get the results that we want, and then they show on the court and in the games.
Now that you have your 1,000 points, what else would you like to accomplish before you hang up the black and gold jersey?
Oh, win state.
Win state, find a college, become a famous YouTuber or basketball player. And this is the first chance. I know earlier this week a lot of folks were impacted by Kobe Bryant and what happened. I know it's been a few days, but what do you make of his impact, and what do you draw, what do you get from someone like him? How does he inspire you to keep going?
He just makes you want to go harder, never give up, and always keep that fight in me. Whenever things are going bad, when we're losing, or if I'm not having a good game, just continue to play hard and keep helping my team move forward.
And Kiani, what do you take from his game?
Definitely playing through pain, especially those last minutes, they were following really hard. And so just knowing that I can play through pain and just finish the game with all those free throws, it really helped. Yeah.
Well, we'll see if the Mamba mentality can continue through the rest of the season. You want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom.
Well, hi, Dad. Hi, Mom, and anyone else who's watching this. Congrats on the conference sweep over Holy Angels, and we'll see if it leads to another state tournament run.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
It's NJ Weems and Kiani Lockett, and that wraps up our coverage here from Nicollet Island. For LaToya, Turk, and the rest of our crew, thanks for watching.